Hey, what is up everybody? In this video I'm going to be telling you why I don't like these very much. What's up everyone, and welcome back to the channel. How are we all doing, people? Let me know in the comments why you're down there. Did you go for it? How are you getting on with it? I'd be very interested to know your opinion on the Adizero Adios Pro 2. Very interesting. And like I said at the start, I'm not that fussed about it. So if you're an Adidas fan, you may want to switch off now. Okay, so firstly, let's just get into it, right? Because this is only opinion. This is only my opinion, and 9 times out of 10, I'm wrong. So let's just put that out there, right? So just because this shoe doesn't work for me, doesn't mean it's not going to work for you. Now, I'm going to go through why it doesn't work for me and why I'm not really feeling it. But that doesn't mean it's not going to work for you, okay? So I'm just putting it out there. It doesn't really matter what I say, but I'm going to give you my, 10 pence worth on the shoe. But before we do all that, let's get the stats and features done first. Okay, so update time of the Adios Pro, and I think, actually, I think it looks awesome, what they've done to it. I really do prefer the look of this shoe versus the predecessor. I think Cellar Mesh 2.0 looks awesome. It's like a translucent layer, and then you've got sort of, I don't know, bigger holes in it, I would say. I think they're called windows is what Adidas or Adidas, let's get it out of the way. Windows, I think is what they've called. They're bigger on the Cellar Mesh 2.0. The lacing, and this is not why I dislike the shoe, is a nightmare. Every time it is so tight down here, you have to loosen them off, put them on, tighten them up, and then you can't sort of then get the shoe back on. It is a nightmare. But anyway, I really like the cutouts and the sort of the aesthetics of the shoe. I actually believe, and let me know in the comments, I really do feel like this is pretty much the same-ish kind of shoe to the predecessor, but they've just like cut bits out here and added little bits here, updated the upper, and obviously they've tweak the light stripe pro. I'll come on to that in a minute, but I don't know. I think they've done more aesthetic changes to it than anything else. I think still fundamentally it's the same, because you've got the energy rods, carbon infused energy rods under the shoe, you've got the plate in the heel and that kind of stuff. So Cellar Mesh upper, okay, it's 2.0 and the windows are bigger, but I still feel like fundamentally it's the same shoe. UK 10.5 for me, fits true to size, no problems with fit, no problems with heel slippage, no problems with rubbing around the heel collar area, nothing like that. There's a little bit of padding going across the tongue, which is quite nice, so when you do sort out the lacing, it does come down quite nicely on the top of your feet. The outsole's great, you've got that Continental rubber, which is sticky enough. You've got the exposed Adizero as well, but it's sticky enough, the old Continental rubber, so that would give you plenty of traction, what I'm trying to say. And then we come on to the Light Strike Pro. I'll come on to how it feels, but all I would say is the Light Strike Pro in this is definitely softer than the predecessor, and it's definitely bouncier. That is probably the biggest sort of takeaway, I would say, versus the predecessor. It definitely feels more sort of spongy underfoot, and it's just a little bit more bounce in your stride, I think, versus the other one. More noticeable, I would say. We've got, I think it's 39.5mm stack in it. It's got 10mm drop. Shoes are £190, I think. Let me know in the comments. Let me just double check actually on my phone. Where is it? Let's go. Yeah, £180 on Pro Direct Running. That's not a plug for them, but £180 of Pro Direct Running. And what's kind of cool this time round, it seems a little bit more available. When they did the other drop of the first version, it was a nightmare to get hold of. I don't know whether that was because of pandemic, Brexit and all that sort of stuff, but they've definitely made this more available, which is awesome, so thank you. Adidas. Okay, I think that's stats and features out of the way. Let's get on to why I don't like it. Okay, so for me, this shoe is just too unstable. If you look at the heel, it just sets up that little bit too much offset for me. I feel like I've got like a bar going through the back of my heel because I'm heel striking at lower speeds. And again, I'm sure I'll get hammered in the comments about because I'm not fast enough and all this sort of stuff. And you know what? Actually, I think this is the problem. I don't actually think that I'm fast enough to run in this shoe at easy pace. I think the problem I've got with the shoe, and it's not the shoe's problem, it's actually a me problem, is that I don't think I run quick enough in my easy pace to get the most out of this shoe. Does that make any sense? So if I'm in, not even in sort of goal pace, it's probably even too slow for this shoe. My sort of goal pace at the moment is around I should know in kilometres, 520. I'll put it up about 525. I might even have that wrong because Toby and I were arguing about this the other day. But basically, my goal pace and then to easy pace, which is what I'm doing long runs in at the moment, I think is too slow for the shoe. And I think that's where I'm getting then the instability because I'm striking down on the heel and I'm not getting the maximum because it's got quite an aggressive toe off, look, on the shoe. And I just don't think I'm getting the maximum for it. So I think that's why I'm not getting the best out of it, and that's why I'm struggling with it. And that's a me problem, not a shoe problem. Maybe if you're quick enough, so if you're one of these guys and girls, you know, who do run, you know, a much faster pace than I do, this is probably something that will work for you with the bounce and stuff, you know. And that's, I think, the fundamental problem. I just don't think, and it was the same problem with the Adizero Pro. That was tuned up with the plate to a certain degree, and I just don't think I ran fast enough and forward enough on my toes to get the most out of it. And that's the problem with the shoe. I say, it just feels like I've got a bar in it. It just feels a little bit sort of disconnected in the heel to the toe for me. And I say, I think that's down to me not running fast enough. And that's where I'm going to leave it, actually, with the video, I think. Because it's a bit unfair to have a go at the shoe when I should really probably be having a go at myself for not being able to run fast enough. But I try as hard as I can, but I can only do so much. So I think if you're slightly faster than me, or you know, you've got a much better foot, better. That's the wrong way of saying it, Fordy, because there's nothing wrong with heel striking. If you've got a more economical foot strike in terms of, you know, your mid to forward foot, you know, on those longer runs and stuff like that, then you're probably going to get the most out of this, because I didn't. And I think that's the issue. I struggled to get the most out of it in the runs that I've done with it. And I think that's the issue. So, yeah, I think this has got a place for some people. I think £180 is good money for it. It's good value. But for me, it just doesn't work.